so Samsung might finally fix the biggest problem with the Galaxy Z TriFold. But the way they are doing it honestly doesn't fully add up, and the leaks themselves are contradicting each other. Let me explain. So the Z TriFold was impressive, but it had one obvious problem. Samsung built a 10-inch foldable screen and somehow left out S Pen support completely. And honestly, that made no sense. Because if there's one foldable where the S Pen actually belongs, it's this one. Now interestingly, new leaks suggest Samsung is finally addressing that. A couple of leakers just shared patent-based renders of what could be the Galaxy Z TriFold 2. And they show something pretty wild. The S Pen sits inside one of the two hinges of the phone. And it's not just a passive slot either. Magnets hold the pen in place. Sensors detect when it's inserted properly. And apparently Samsung even wants the hinge to charge the S Pen while it's docked. Honestly, at first glance, this sounds pretty clever. But this is where things start getting weird. To make room for the S Pen, one of the three panels has to be shorter or narrower than the others, which gives the whole phone an asymmetric look. And honestly, that already doesn't look great. But the bigger issue is this. The folding display itself actually becomes part of the S Pen slot, which basically means every time you slide the S Pen in or out, you're rubbing it directly against the folding display layer. And that sounds like a terrible idea for a foldable. But my biggest issue with this whole thing is, it feels forced. Because now every time you fully unfold that massive 10-inch display, there's just an S Pen sitting across part of it. And if you remove it, where does it even go? So instead of solving the S Pen problem, it kind of creates a new one. But before people get too excited, there's one major reality check here. This is just a patent. Samsung files patents all the time, and most of them never become real products. The leaker connected this to the TriFold 2 because the form factor matches. That's a reasonable assumption, but it's still just an assumption. There's still no real confirmation. Now here's where things get really interesting. Just a few weeks ago, a Korean leaker reported something completely different about the TriFold 2. According to that leak, Samsung is building an entirely new hinge from the ground up, and the whole goal here is simple. Make the TriFold 2 thinner and lighter. The original TriFold is already insanely thin when unfolded, but it feels bulky and pretty heavy, especially compared to the Z Fold 7 when folded. And that's exactly the problem Samsung is trying to solve. But here's the weird part. Samsung already removed the digitizer from both the Fold 7 and the original TriFold. And they did that for one reason: thinness. So now suddenly we're supposed to believe Samsung is adding back S Pen hardware, while making the hinge even thinner. Honestly, those two ideas completely contradict each other. Now here's the thing. None of this means the S Pen is gone from foldables forever. Samsung has actually been pretty clear about where this is going. Samsung's been working on a digitizer-free S Pen for years now, but currently, that project is on hold. And that's important because the TriFold 2 reportedly isn't launching until 2027, which means Samsung still has a lot of time to change direction here. They could skip this entire hinge-based approach and just wait until the digitizer-free tech is actually ready. And interestingly, leaks already suggest some of this TriFold development is eventually coming to the Z Fold lineup too. In fact, the latest Fold 8 leaks may have already revealed Samsung's real plan here, but almost everyone completely misunderstood what they were actually looking at. Click here to check it out in full.